Ruben, a draw tonight. Are you happy with that or not?
No, I felt until the penalty we had the control of the game, and then I think the penalty changed a little bit the momentum. I felt our team in the last 30 minutes were really tired, and you can feel it in the game. So we take this stage to Old Trafford. It's going to be a different game. The pressure is going to be on us in that stadium, and we have to be ready. I think the key will be surviving physically to Sunday and to be ready and fresh to Thursday.
What did change in that last half hour after the penalty to lose control? Was it just fatigue or was there anything else?
No, the momentum changed, but I think was clearly fatigue. We were late on the balls, even in transitions. You feel that the pace was different, and they were stronger in that 30 minutes.
The goal, when it did come though, lovely move down the right-hand side. The combination between Xerxes and Garnacho on the right, was that a deliberate attempt to get Garnacho on that right-hand side? So we've seen him off the left, but he seemed to have a lot of success on the right tonight.
We look at the opponents, the way they try to press, where is the space, which player is going to follow the run, and we try to imagine the right characteristics for that game. So we try to change different things to expose the opponent to different things.
Before the game, you said that you wanted to see your side be much better in possession with the ball. Do you think you saw that tonight?
Yes, I think until the penalty we had good possessions. We know that they jumped really strong to our pressure. We can put the ball behind. Our decision in the last third sometimes is not the better decision, but we had good moments in the game. Yeah, I felt that.
As they say in the final third, the decision making, it seemed to be frustrating in the first half in particular, watching you on the touchline. Was that the main frustrations? Was one from Diogo Dalot where he could have played the ball in first time?
Yeah, he has the advantage, and Rasmus did the sprint to win the position, but that can happen, and they cannot focus on that. They have to move on to the next play, and we move on to the next game.
Always honest in his interviews, Paul, something that we spoke about a little bit earlier. He said there he could see fatigue in his players, he could see they were tired. Could you see that?
I'm not sure it's fatigue. I think they just injected a little bit of pace, which they hadn't had in the game. I think Becker and Oscarson, as we said, were quicker players. They had some nice technical players, don't get me wrong, but these two brought a little bit of speed to it. I thought United played well for the majority of the game. They do tend to collapse in games when they concede a goal. That, I say it didn't happen. They didn't concede after.
They didn't concede again.
Didn't concede again after the first one. They conceded a couple of chances. But they've stayed. Look, they're right in this game. There's no doubt about that. And going next week, it's where the goal's going to come from. United didn't create an awful lot of chances. Obviously, Xerxes got the goal. Hoyland, again, didn't really look that much of a goal threat. I thought he was quicker than their centre halves. I thought they missed a little bit of a trick, Manchester United, to just dink it in behind him. A little bit of backspin, he can run onto it, because he was quicker than them. I don't think they got much pace at all at the back. You thought Garnacho maybe picked up a little injury.
I don't know, he didn't look like, we've seen him live so many times, he didn't look like he had that burst, and he had something taped around his knee, and we know he's carried something before, so I don't want to be too critical of him, because I didn't feel he was himself tonight, and maybe he just had a poor game, who knows, but I don't
what
think
weren't you seeing?
Physically, I don't think the output, and I think the manager is right. I do think fatigue played a part. I don't know with Garnacho, like I said, he had his knee taped up.
It looks like he's sulking a little bit to me, Carol.
But Scholes, they haven't played. He hasn't maybe won the game that he thought. They haven't dominated the game. I don't know. I'm just trying to see. I do think fatigue was a factor tonight. I think the first half you had momentum, you had the chances, you didn't take them, and as the game stretches up, you're asking big distances to run. They bring on subs. He's got no one to bring on. So actually, for the first. Not the first time I agree with him, I actually do hear what he's saying in that aspect.
Could some of it maybe be mental fatigue as well? Because it's been such a poor season for United overall.
I'm not having the fatigue, but I think they're all right. I just think they injected a little bit of pace, and that was it. I don't think there's great legs in this Manchester United team tonight, but they didn't need them. We saw Bruno and Casemiro. Casemiro has been slagged off probably all his career for 9 great legs, but he's a great footballer. He knows how to play the position. He was never threatened tonight, and I don't think that'll happen next week either. As well, I think where I was a little bit disappointed with Garnacho, his biggest strength is running through. He gives you penetration. Sometimes he makes the wrong decisions. Yeah, he does. He creates the wrong finish, or he doesn't give the right ball. But it's just that lack of energy tonight from him, and a little bit of sulkiness, I think. And look, he'll get better, and he needs to get better because they haven't really got anything else to call upon, have they?
Considering the overall quality of the opposition tonight, and I know you said that 1-1 draw to take away from coming away from home in Europe isn't a bad result, but is it another game where they should have got a better result?
You could argue that, but it's not always easy coming to these places. We've seen that over the years. Going to any European away game is difficult. So I don't think it was the most hostile of atmospheres. I think I've seen better atmospheres, and I think United, they played well without looking like actually going on to win the game convincingly, if you know what I mean. They were always in the game. They were never going to be out of the game for next week. Again, a slight concern is where the goals are going to come from. I think, look, they should win at home, but we say this every single time, and sometimes they disappoint
Will they?
you.
One word? Will they win? Go on, we've got to go. Give me one word.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah,
yes,
he says yes.
yes.
Karen?
Yes, come on.
There we go. We are going to be pitch side next week, live at Old Trafford, 7 o'clock for
From our goal scorer there, Joshua Zirkzee, one of the things that he always is quite humble. After that performance, you can tell that he was more focused on the team aspects of hurting the fact that they conceded.
You know what you could tell by his face, sir, in his interview there, sir. He's that disappointing. And I don't mind seeing that because it has affected the players. And Sully and Ben were touching on it when players were walking by them. So it's really upset them tonight that they knew they should have won that game. And you've seen from his interview there that he's disappointed we have 1-1 draw away from home in Europe.
Well, as you mentioned there with Sully and Ben, let's hear from them now.
OK, Ben, let's finish with a little chat about Arsenal. Some media still carrying on there. In fact, the Real Sociedad manager just to our right there, he'll be thinking of his next game. We're thinking of Arsenal. They come to Old Trafford off the back of that huge win in Europe at PSV. They found their shooting boots again. But we've got a lot of positives to take from this performance and seeing Joshua score and taking a decent result back to Old Trafford as well. So how do you assess where both teams are going into Sunday?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, they're in a position where they probably don't feel as though now, with the recent blip that they had, forget about what they did in midweek, which was pretty phenomenal to go and score 7 goals in a knockout tie. But prior to that, I think they realised that they'd gifted Liverpool the title even at this early stage. But it's how they recover, and obviously they'll want to come to Old Trafford and they'll want to put us to the sword, but we also know that they're going to be slightly wounded because the league is pretty much done and dusted for them now, and we can take a lot of positives from the way that we created chances today. What we have to do is do what they obviously did do in midweek, and that is put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, they had loads of big moments, didn't they, against PSV, and it's a talented squad despite their failings in the Premier League in terms of them challenging Liverpool, which many people tip them to do. But these games, they're always fascinating encounters, aren't they? Because Arsenal are a good side.
Yeah, they are a good side, and despite not having a traditional centre forward, somebody that they can rely on to score them, the double figures in going to the 20s, that is going to be challenging for title honours. They still found a way, especially in midweek, to be able to score 7 goals away from home in Europe, which is no mean feat. Absolutely.
Top player.
Yeah. I mean, they've still got plenty of players that can do that, as they proved. But also, there's a newfound resilience in this Manchester United side as well, and I feel as though there's something there that it is starting to come good. Okay, we've spoken about the result today, but how can we turn what we created today into actually going and winning games and scoring goals? And that's what we have to do on Sunday, as well as against this opposition next Thursday.
Like Ruben said when we spoke to him, it's about how they recover as well now, because Sunday will come around pretty quickly. We've got to get back to Manchester from Spain, and then they'll be in tomorrow doing that recovery work, train on Saturday, and then it's match day again.
Well, your heart was in your mouth, wasn't it?
But
he looked as though he made a decent recovery, and he was actually fine to see the game out. But you don't want anything else to happen. We are threadbare at the moment. We're hoping that, I don't know about Sunday, it's good to get Toby Collier back as well, and he got a few minutes at the end. We need some players back, hopefully, for next Thursday and for the remainder of the season, to keep getting players in so that we've got a healthy squad to be able to choose from.
We'll have to wait and see for that.
You'd like to hope that the reason why they're not here tonight is so that they were fit to face Arsenal on Sunday. And the way the manager has got to deal with all these injuries, then you can understand his reasoning behind it.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who's fit and available for that Arsenal game. Always traditionally one of the most exciting fixtures in the Old Trafford calendar. That's it from Spain. Back to you in Manchester.
Thanks very much for that, guys. And as they very well said there is a game at the weekend, a huge game against Arsenal. However, when you think about this Europa...
He has to use his arms to elevate and get himself up. As soon as I seen it, but again, for me, it just ruining the game, it's ruining football, and now it's just completely swung the tie around in their favour.
Absolutely. It goes against our manager's preparation, how he gets the team prepared. When decisions like that, Sarah, can turn a game. And that's what happened tonight. Get them back into the game. We come away with a draw. Happily we're still in the tie. But a goal like that just kills you. But in a way, I must say, have opportunities.
What was different though is that even though we had plenty of chances in that first half, we've decided to really just kick things off in the second half very well, whereas in the past we've been quite slow to start it.
No, but it's good to see. I think the manager must have got really into the players and just say, hey, listen, believe yourselves, we're better than them. We've bossed that first half, we should be up, but we're not, but let's go out and gain the second half. And we did, we came out firing, and we got the goal that we deserved. But we didn't kick on to get that second one, even though we had good opportunities as well. But we didn't take them, Sarah, so it's our fault.
Were you surprised, Danny, with how much space
child at the moment as well, so I mean, like, and maybe they're in a similar situation where they might prefer at the moment playing away from home. So, at home now they've got a 1-1, which they didn't deserve, and now they're probably delighted now with their mindset, thinking we're going to go to Old Trafford.
The pressure's off.
Pressure's off. We've got ourselves a draw, and why not? They'll be coming here thinking let's make an upset.
We said before the game that we shouldn't think about the previous league fixture that Sociedad had. They lost 4-0 to Barcelona, had a red card there. Do you think now, looking back, maybe it did affect?
Right, sorry. From the first whistle, they didn't look a confident side, and I thought to myself, these are here for the taking. You're dead right, and unfortunately, we didn't do that. Again, through our own missed chances and some bad decision making in great areas, where if you make the right decision, tap-ins.
And by the way, they shown glimpses when they did get the goal. They kind of got, they picked up, didn't they? Lifted, and they had a few chances towards the end. So we've got to keep.
This chance of the game.
When you mentioned there those secret pockets of energy that they have, do you think that's something that we need to be wary of, especially ahead of them arriving here at Old Trafford? 100%.
I think sometimes, listen, goals change games. Goals change the mindset of a player, and we saw their shift. We saw the crowd shift, saw the players shift. So now, we've got to keep that in mind, because the way they maybe tried to finish the game, they'll be thinking, let's try and start the game here. So it's a massive game now for us back here next week, knowing that we could have seen it off
tonight.
Absentee hit Manchester United were unable to turn a positive performance into a Europa League victory as Mikel Oyarzabal's penalty sees Real Sociedad head to Old Trafford with the last 16 tie poised at 1-1. Joshua Zirkzee put United into a deserved lead, only for Oyarzabal to level from the spot with Sociedad's first shot on target after the VAR spotted a Bruno Fernandes handball. Aritz Elizondo produced blocks to deny Fernandes and Zirkzee in quick succession, with the latter making the breakthrough in the 57th minute when firing home from the edge of the box. La Real offered little by way of response, but the VAR's intervention gave them the chance to level with 20 minutes remaining. Fernandes' handball was punished upon review and Sociedad skipper Oyarzabal scored from the spot. The rejuvenated hosts ended on top as United's lack of options and recent exertions took their toll, but they head back to Old Trafford for next Thursday's second leg in a decent position. United's first shot on target came in the 12th minute, when Fernandes and Casemiro won the ball to start a counter that led to Alejandro Garnacho getting away an easily gathered shot after some nice footwork. Diego Dalot did not enjoy the finest half, but made the right decision when playing over to Fernandes to get away a shot blocked on the line by Elizondo. United kept their cool and the move alive, with Zirkzee denied by the Sociedad centre-back before flicking a follow-up wide. Dalot saw a header easily held before a break that returned in the same pattern, with the Amorim's Reds on top but struggling to find a killer instinct. Garnacho then met a low cross with a strike into the side netting and then saw an effort deflect into Alex Ramiro's grasp. The Argentina international would soon help United take the lead their play deserved, cutting back for Zirkzee to hit a first-time shot from the edge of the box through Benat Turriente's legs and past goalkeeper Ramiro. The travelling support enjoyed a goal they looked to build on as Garnacho shot just wide of the near post. But life is rarely straightforward for United, who saw Brais Mendes flash a 25-yarder close before confusion reigned in the stadium as referee Ivan Kruzliak received instructions through his earpiece. There was no information in the ground, but VAR Paul van Bokel instructed the referee to go to the monitor and review a Fernandes handball as he attempted to clear a corner. Kruzliak pointed to the spot and the Real Arena roared when Oyarzabal, Spain's match winner against England in the Euro 2024 final, pounded his penalty past Andre Onana in the 70th minute. United's goalkeeper did well to push a Mendes drive from distance wide in the 77th minute, with Naef Agard nodding over the resulting corner. La Real smelt blood and Ori Oskarsson prodded fellow substitute Sheraldo Becker's cross agonizingly wide. Matthijs de Ligt did brilliantly to deal with a cross after an initial slip and Onana stopped Oskarsson in stoppage time as it ended all squared in Spain.